أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Indeed, our praise are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alone without any partner. We believe this, we profess this, we praise Allah, we mention Allah's beauty, His perfection, by His beautiful names and by His perfect attributes and His lofty attributes. We ask Allah for protection, for refuge, for safety. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal for forgiveness and pardon. We ask Him for mercy. We ask Him to make things easy, to make things bearable, to make things simple upon our daily 9 to 5 actions, our duties as human beings, as slaves, as Muslims, as mu'mins. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect us from the evils of our souls and from the consequences of our bad negative deeds. Those whom Allah Azza wa Jal guides, none can mislead. And those who are misled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one can ever guide. I bear witness and I testify that Allah alone without any partner is He who deserves to be worshipped subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness and I testify that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is His servant, His slave, His worshipper, and His messenger, and His apostle. To proceed, indeed Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded you with His fear. He told you to fear Him, to obey Him, to watch Him, and to be mindful of Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. As I sat this morning, a few hours after Salat al-Fajr, in other words, a few hours before I'm standing right here on these pieces of wood, I sat in my study, in my chair, I put my arms back, and I said to myself, what's going to be today's khutbah? What is the topic of today's sermon? What am I going to say to myself? What am I going to say to my brothers and my sisters that I have the responsibility, that I have the duty, that I have the challenge and the test, and at the same time the honor of standing in front of them and addressing them and speaking to them? What's going to be today's khutbah? Did I not know that I had a khutbah to do today? Of course I did. Did I not know that I have the responsibility of doing it every week? Yes, I do. But for one reason or another, one wisdom or another, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He willed and He decreed for me not to have a topic ahead of time. So I sat and I sat and I sat some more, and I thought some more, and I pondered some more, and I continued to reflect as if I had writer's block, speaker's block. So many things to talk about, so many ayat, so many ahadith, so many problems and needs in this community, in this masjid, in this building. So many problems, so many needs, so many things that need to be addressed and spoken on in this city, in this town, in this state, in this country. So what do you want to talk about? What are you going to speak to the people about? So I spoke to a close relative, a close friend, and a family member as well. And they said, why don't you talk about New Year's? Why don't you talk about a new year coming? Isn't that the most appropriate thing to speak on? So first I said, no, I don't want to talk about New Year's. First and foremost, we don't want anyone to have a misconception. Second of all, we don't want to do an orthodox traditional topic that most other people are going to talk about. But as I sat down and I reflected even further, I said it does make sense. But we're going to talk about New Year's from a different angle, from a different aspect. And then that's when, alhamdulillah, my mind began to click and the creative juices of my brain began to run. And I thought about a statement that I thought and I felt and I knew was truly profound. A statement that I read many years ago when I first started studying before I went overseas. And it is a statement of the great tabi'i, Al-Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah ta'ala, in which he said, ما من يوم ينشق فجره إلا ينادى وفي رواية إلا ينادي. He says every single morning, every day that ينشق الفجر, Fajr comes, the lightness pierces, cuts through the darkness. Every single morning, not 6 a.m., not 4, not 7, 8, when many people begin their day. Early in the morning, there isn't a day except that a call is made, except that someone or something calls out. And what do they say? What is this thing? And what is said every single morning? Al-Hasan al-Basri, he said that every single day something comes out and it says, what is that thing? And what does it say? أنا خلق جديد وعلى عملك شهيد فتزود مني فإني إذا مضيت لا أعود إلى يوم القيامة. This thing or this person or whatever it is, it says, O sons of Adam, O human beings, O slaves of Allah, أنا خلق جديد, I am a new creation. I'm a new entity, a new being, every single day. Number 2, وَعَلَىٰ عَمَلِكَ شَهِيد, and I'm a witness. I bear witness, I see, I listen, I hear what you do. فَتَزَوَّدْ مِنِّي, use me, take me, utilize me, Don't let me slip out of your hands. فَإِنِّي إِذَا مَضَيْتُ لَا أَعُودُ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. Because when I go, you never ever see me again. When I leave you, when I leave your presence, you will not see me again until the day of judgment. What was this thing that Hassan al-Basri was speaking about? Who makes this call? What makes this call? What we know for sure is the thing that Hassan al-Basri was speaking about was New Year's. Rather, he was talking about new months, new weeks, new days, new hours, new minutes, new seconds. Every single day, time calls out to you. What do you want to do with me? How have you used me? What have you done with me? Know for sure I'm a limited guest. I come, I go, and that's it. You may get your health back. You may get money back. You may marry, you may divorce, remarry. You may have children. You may recover. But time, with no doubt, is something that it never ever comes back. Once it's gone, khalas, finished. So ask yourself the question, when you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking about? What time are you waking up in the morning? Before Fajr or after Fajr? Do you hit the snooze on your alarm clock for Salat al-Fajr? Do you have a valid excuse for the masjid to be empty? Do you have a valid excuse for the haram things that you're doing, the heedlessness? What do you want to do with your New Year's? What's your New Year's resolution? To lose weight, to gain weight, to practice this, to finish school, to learn that, to stop smoking, maybe to stop drinking. At best, I'm going to quit drinking, I'm going to quit smoking, it's bad for me. What's your New Year's resolution? And what do you want to do on New Year's? You're going to drink, dance, smoke, have fun, have sex, enjoy yourself, party with the kuffar. You're going to trim your beard, shave your beard if it's not already trimmed and shaved, to fit in when you go with the kuffar. You're going to celebrate New Year's, or you're going to cry and think and reflect, how much of my life did I waste? How many years are gone that can never come back? Rather, the best years of my life, my youth, when I was 18, 20, 25, 30, 35, they're gone. My beard is gray. How many of you in this masjid today have gray in your beards? Some of your beards are full gray, 100%. What did you put forth for your life? How did you utilize your life? How did you use the gift of Allah Azza wa Jal, time? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of his kindness and his mercy and his gentleness with his slaves, he allows this to take place, is that you're being warned. A new year is coming. What have you done? What are you going to do? And what are you doing in the current, present state of time? So that's what I want to speak about today, bi-idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, is New Year's. The new year for the believer. The new season for the believer. Hajj is coming again. Ramadan is coming again. These months are coming again. Have you made Hajj? If so, when? How did you make Hajj? How much money have you spent? You say, I can't make Hajj, it's too expensive. I can't afford it, it's too expensive. Those who wish to seek knowledge and study, right here on this minbar, I have seen brothers come and go. Countless brothers. I want to go overseas. I want to go study in Medina. Write me a letter of recommendation. They've came, they've went. Some were successful, most were unsuccessful. What are you doing with your time? How are you utilizing your time? Are you thanking Allah Azza wa Jalla for your time? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has made the night and the day khilfatan, as a means of succession. The night comes, the day goes. The day comes, the night goes. For what purpose? Why has Allah made the night and the day? Why has Allah made time? لِمَنْ أَرَادَ أَنْ يَذَّكَّرْ أَوْ أَرَادَ شُكُورًا. For one or two purposes. For those who wish to reflect. For those who wish to think. For those who ponder on their lives. Or those who wish to be thankful. Alhamdulillah, I'm 20 years old and I made Hajj. I've been fasting since 9 years old. I've memorized the Quran. I'm dutiful to my parents. Alhamdulillah, I have a successful job. I've been to school. I'm living a good life. I'm married and I'm only 20. I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, and I've fasted 50 Ramadans, 30 Ramadans, made Hajj 10 times. Alhamdulillah, it was a time in which I had millions of dollars in my hands and I gave it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which of the two are you? Either you want to reflect, you want to think, you want to cry over time, or you want to weep because you're happy over what you did with your time. Think, brothers and sisters in Islam. And to show you the importance of time in the deen, especially the year, the new year, is that all of the pillars of Islam pertain to time, except for the shahadatain. Everything that you do from the foundations of the deen pertains to a time zone, a time period. Either a year, either a month, either a week, either an hour, either a minute, either a second. Except for the kalima of Tawheed and bear witness to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his Rasul. As-salah. When do you make the salah? The mandatory salah, the recommended salah, except based off of what? Time. When do you give zakah? When do you pay zakah? Except based off of what? The calculation of time. When do you fast the month of Ramadan? When do you begin fasting? Begin becoming thirsty? When do I stop becoming thirsty? When do I drink? When do I eat? Except because of what? Time. And Hajj is only once. That's a number in one's lifetime. When? During the specific months of Hajj. So Allah Azza wa Jal, as if He told us the most beautiful thing, the most important thing, the most precious gem that I've handed you is time. And perhaps this was from the athar, this was from the lamasat, the traces and the fine smooth touch of nubuwah, of prophecy upon that statement of Al-Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah ta'ala, whereas he grew up in a household of his mother that was a servant to one of Muhammad's wives, Salama. So Hassan learned from his mother, who learned from Salama, who learned from Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Hassan al-Basri, who met that score of companions, heard from them, sat around from them, and he literally soaked up and sponged up those wisdoms. And that's why he made that statement, مَا مِنْ يَوْمٍ يَنْشَقُ فَجْرُهُ إِلَّا وَيُنَادَى. There isn't a day in which Fajr comes. There isn't a morning that comes, a morning that goes, except that a call is made, an address is given. And that thing, or that statement is, أَنَا خَلْقٌ جَدِيد. I'm a new creation. I'm a new day. I'm a new hour. I'm a new year. New Year's. وَعَلَىٰ عَمِلِكَ شَهِيدٌ. But the fork in the road between the believer and the non-believer is that when a new year comes, most non-believers drink. When a new year comes, most non-believers continue in their sin. But the believer is to cry, is to feel sad that more time is gone and the hour is closer and closer and closer. And I have to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Am I ready? Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatullahi wa salamu ala ibadihi alladhina astafa, amma ba'd. الوقت إما لك ربح ومغنم وإلا عليك وزر ومأثم وإما خسارة وتفويت للمنافع وهذه الثلاثة الأقسام لا بد للإنسان من واحد منها فمن كان وقته في طاعة الله من صلاة وصيام وقراءة وذكر وجهاد وحج وعلم وقيام بحق الله أو بحقوق الخلق فهو له مغنم وربح وسيحمد غبه بعد حين وسيغتبط بما قدمت يداه ولا بد لمن كان على هذا الوصف من الراحات واستعمال ما يعين على العبادة من استعمال الطيبات وهذه الوسائل ينسب عليها حكم الوقت وتكون عبادات مع النية الصالحة. Time for you, you for time, you and time together is one of three sections, one of three categories. There is no fourth. There is no fifth. There is no sixth. Akhi, if you don't fall under one of these three categories, then you don't exist. You're not alive. One of the three. Number one, ribhun wa maghnamun. A success, a profit, a profitable, a very successful trade and commerce. You're making money. You're getting money. You're eating well. You're well off. You're successful with regards to time. It is a means of you gaining. That's the first category. And if not, وَإِلَّا عَلَيْكَ إِثْمٌ وَوِزْرٌ وَمَأْثَمٌ, then you're a loser. You're broke. You're poor. You're a bum. You have no money, no possessions. You have nothing. You're totally unsuccessful. You're a loser. Your profit, your commerce, your trading is totally sour. That the time is a sin upon you. Your time is spent sinning, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you're a loser. Last but not least, وَإِمَّا خَسَارَةٌ وَتَفْوِيتٌ لِلْمَنَافِعِ, or at least your time is a means of loss. Your time is a means of beneficial things slipping out of your hands. Not recommended acts, not mandatory acts, not disliked acts, not haram acts. But there isn't anything beneficial as well. It's just void. Laughing, we're not laughing about something haram. Playing a video game, it's not haram. Watching this, eating this, it isn't haram, but is it beneficial? Is it useful? Does it get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Pay close attention and stop for 1 second. Everybody think, which of the 3 categories do I fall under? Is my time a means of success? Is my time a means of failure? Is my time a means of just total waste? Which of the 3? And if you're a part of the first category, the first group, the first team, but you have a little bit of the second, a little bit of the third, then ask yourself, what percentage of those second categories do I have? 30%, 10%, 15%? Am I a loser only half of the time, a third of the day, 10 minutes? So just stop and ask yourselves the question. Don't look at those who are next to you. Don't look at those who are before you. Don't think about your wife, your husband, your children, your stepchildren. Think about yourself. What do I do with my time? Am I losing or am I gaining? Am I just in the balance, in the middle? No benefit, no haram, no sin. What of the 3 are you? When that call is made in Fajr, what do you respond to and how do you respond to it? It then says, these 3 categories, لا بد للإنسان من واحدة منها. It's a must that you fall into one of these 3 categories. Those who are of the first category, their waqt, their time is spent worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hajj, dhikr, ilm, jihad, salah, siyam, charity. My life is spent obeying Allah, pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then praise Allah, be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those people whose lives are spent doing other than that, whether it's the second category or the third category, seek Allah's forgiveness and get yourself together before the new year comes and you're not around. Before a new month comes and we are carrying your janazah. We're washing your bodies. We're bringing buckets of water and water hoses and stuffing your bullet wounds or your knife wounds from a car accident or from a heart attack on an airplane. This is a reality. People die on a daily basis. Which of the 3 categories are you from? It then says, those who do these permissible acts and these mandatory acts and these recommended acts, then it has to be a time of comfort. There has to be a break. There has to be recreation or recreation. You recreating the energy to perform those mandatory acts. And that is the tayyibat, he says, the good, lawful things. When I'm not worshiping, I'm sitting with my wife who's pure, who's clean, who's beautiful because she's a believer, who's beautiful because she makes wudu, who's beautiful because she fasts, who's beautiful because her tongue is not long, it's not sharp. She isn't sarcastic and rude and insolent. She's pious and she's pleasing inwardly and outwardly. When I'm not doing the mandatory acts, I'm eating of the lawful things that Allah has provided me. I'm drinking of the lawful things Allah has given me. I'm driving the lawful vehicle Allah has provided me with. That is the first category. As far as those whose time is used disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ كَانَ وَقْتُهُ فِي الشَّرِّ وَعَمَلِ الْمَعَاصِي والإصرار على ما يسخط الله تعالى من جميع أجناس المعاصي المتعلقة بحق الله أو حق خلقه فيسعى إلى دار الشقاء وعاقبته أوخم العواقب وسيجد غب أعماله إذا انقطعت الأسباب فإن تمتع في الدنيا قليلا أعقب ذلك حزنا طويلا ومن كان وقته في الغفلات والاشتغال بما لا يعين من اللذات والمباحات فقد خسر وقته الذي هو أنفس من كل نفيس وخسر خسرانا مبينا وفاتته المتاجر والأرباح فسبحان من فاوت بين عباده هذا التفاوت انظر كيف فضلنا بعضهم على بعض وللآخرة أكبر درجات وأكبر تفضيلا. Those who spend their time fulfilling Allah's rights and the rights of His slaves, if they have the proper intention, everything that they do of relaxation, of comfort, of normal things are now acts of ibadah. The second category, those whose time is spent sinning, disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, opposing His rules, oppressing Allah's laws, going against and oppressing Allah's slaves, then they are the true losers. And when the time comes, they will taste the bitterness of their labor. And if they enjoy themselves for a short period of time by drinking, by smoking, by fornicating, by eating riba, by driving riba, by sleeping upon riba, and all of the haram things that you do and you enjoy, it feels good, it smells good, it tastes good, it's soft, it's warm. My silk that I lay on, that I put on my body, it feels nice. There's no doubt about that. Know for sure that a great amount of sadness will come. And when that wealth is taken away from you, your family members are taken away from you, or you're taken away from your family members, then there is no comfort, there is no pleasure, there is no softness and no sweetness, but it's nothing but huzn. He says grief and sadness. Woe that I put forth for my life. And as far as the third category, the third type, then there are those who are just straight out or plain flat out losers. They don't know what to do. Go right, go left. Enjoy the dunya or worship Allah, or a mixture and combination of both. Nor have they found pleasure in this life, nor will they find the reward in the hereafter. فَسُبْحَانَ مَنْ فَاوَتَ بَيْنَ عِبَادِهِ هَذَا التَّفَاوُتِ. So how perfect is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How amazing, how free from all imperfections is Allah, who allowed his slaves to be on these three different levels. Allah says in the Quran, انظر كيف فضلنا بعضهم على بعض. Look, O Muhammad, look, O Prophet, look, O Messenger, how we've chosen our slaves to be on various levels, various degrees, diverse ways of living and existing. And then hereafter, Allah Azza wa Jal, he says, it will be even more preference, more virtue given, and it will be a greater gap and a wider span between Class A, Class B, Class C. Party 1, Party 2, Party 3. Which of the three are you from? What do you want to do tonight? Tomorrow? What's your New Year's resolution? Is it spiritual or worldly? Are you going to fight yourself? Fight your nafs? Are you going to stand up and have the courage to do away with the sins that you've been making for over 300 days consistently? Allah gives you a new year, a new day, a new month, a new week. Are you going to waste it, or are you going to value it? How do you spend your time on the internet? Do you spend your time worrying about a person, a man who's hundreds of miles away from you? If not, at sometimes thousands of miles away from you, who has no concern, no care, no wondering about what you're doing and where you're at. And you spend your time following this man, hunting this man, stalking this man, talking about this man. Are you a loser or are you a winner? Are you a fool or are you wise? This person has nothing to do with you or your life. He's in another continent, another time zone, and you're typing and texting and stalking a grown man who has a life and a family. That doesn't make any sense. Regardless of what you're saying, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, this and that. But you, one thing for sure, you're a loser. Because your time isn't used for your own soul. Your time is spent worrying about another miskeen slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who needs Allah's mercy, who has sins, who has problems, who has shortcomings, and he asks Allah to hide them and to forgive them. As far as you, it is impossible for you to stay busy with your own sins and with that of another individual. And that's why Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala said, speaking about the Qadariyah, those people who said that they were Muslims and they weren't Muslims, they said that there's no qadr. Everything that happens in life is a coincidence. There's no such thing as decree, as destiny. Imam Ahmad, when he heard about these people, he said one thing about them and only one thing. He didn't call them people of innovation. He said one thing about them. He says, لو أنهم أهمتهم ذنوبهم لما تكلموا في القدر. He says if they were worried about their own sins, they wouldn't have the time to speak about the qadr. If they were focused on their own shortcomings, they wouldn't speak about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pre-decree. So ponder on these words, reflect on these words. Those who are sitting in front of me and those whom these words may reach. Ask yourself, Ya akhi, before it's too late. I'm addressing you as my brother, inshallah. If you truly respect yourself and want good for your soul, then worry about yourself and not fulan and fulana, Abu Fulan and Abi Fulana. Worry about your own poor soul, and only Allah knows the amount of sin. Only Allah knows the things that you hide beneath your fingernails. So I think it's wise for you to refrain from speaking and worry about your own soul. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله تعالى لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه كان غفارا.